G'day fellow flight simmers and random YouTubers. Okay, today I'm doing a bit of a tutorial. Well, I'm not sure if it's a tutorial or not, but we're going to go from Moorabbin up to Horsham, and we're situated around here, the main apron, and looks like we're going to take off from runway 17. This is I've got a virtual AWOS, and it looks like the wind's 210 at 8 knots, overcast at 4,000, and so obviously runway 17 is the preferred. Okay, now that doesn't look like Moorabbin Tower to me, but anyhow, that's freeware. Okay, so what are we going to understand about? Oh, by the way, and I'm flying online, so I'll just bring up the we got Melbourne approach. He's online, 132.0, and so we're going to try to do the radio calls. Now we're going to assume, because Moorabbin Tower, in the real world, Moorabbin Towers goes offline at a certain, not offline, but everyone goes home, and so the class Moorabbin control zone, and I'll just bring that up so you know what I'm talking about. See, Moorabbin CTR extends from surface to 2,500. That's while Moorabbin Tower in the real world is available. Now, when these guys come, whatever, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, pack up, this becomes Class G, but it's still looked after by Melbourne Approach. Now, the thing is, in VATSIM, of course, if you're lucky enough to get Moorabbin Tower, then that's fine. But in our situation, we're assuming because no one's manning Moorabbin Tower, that it's offline, so it's Class G. However, I'm going to be filing IFR, so what I need to do, because I'm going to be flying from Moorabbin via Melbourne and out to Horsham, and I'm going to be going at 6,000. Okay, so what do we expect? Well, we're going to be departing Moorabbin, and we're going to be flying up to Melbourne, and you can see that we're going to be punching Class Charlie airspace, so you need a clearance for that. So we expect, because Melbourne approaches online on 132, we need to get a clearance to enter that Class Charlie airspace, as they do in the real world. So we'll need a clearance, whatever they give you. You know, they might say amended clearance, and might want you to go over Melbourne at 6,000 feet, whatever. Oh, and that's another thing. Why have I planned 6,000 by Melbourne? So, well, for you guys out there that understand or know what they call auto release features, when an aircraft is given a clearance from Melbourne, the auto release function allows them to go up to 5,000. So by going at 6,000, you're 1,000 feet above the auto release altitude that is given to aircraft. Now, obviously, as you're flying up there, and Melbourne Approach will obviously either sequence other aircraft, I guarantee you probably they'll tell the jet to hold at 5,000 until you're clear. Now, we're at 6,000, so there comes a point, because we're going from Melbourne up to... Hello, Aviator, how are you, mate? All right, so because we're going now from Melbourne out to Horsham, which is up here somewhere, not sure exactly where, but anyhow, it's out obviously, there comes a point where we're going to be going outside Class Charlie airspace, right? And we're going to go basically into uncontrolled airspace. So at some point, you can see here, probably, if you look at this ring here, at 30 DME Melbourne Approach, because they're no longer providing a service to us, they'll be saying radar control services terminated. Now, the fact is we're of IFR aircraft, so what we'll do is we'll be told to contact Melbourne Centre. And now Melbourne Centre, of course, is not online. You can see no, Melbourne Centre is not online. So we're going to be told contact Melbourne Centre on whatever it is. They might tell you there. There it is, 126. Well, that's in the real world. Now, obviously, oh, okay. Oh, well done. Had to ferry a twin Comanche from the middle of nowhere, had a fuel leak, got it fixed and departed again. Okay, well done. So, yeah, so you need to be aware. If we're a VFR aircraft, of course, we get radar control service terminal, frequency change approved. And so, but we're still going to be controlled by someone. In this case, we'll be handed over to Melbourne Centre if they were to come online. Okay, so can't see the charts. Oh, can you see the charts, Aviator? And how are you, Aviation Chris? Hang on, let me just work this out. Let me see if I can... Can you see that? What about that? Or can you see my aircraft? Can you see that then? Not sure why I must be having... Oh, hang on. Yeah, hang on. It's been a while. Let me just sort this out. Yeah, I can see what the problem is. What an idiot I am. Bang, there we go. How's that? Jeez. All right, let's go back to the charts. Now, as I was saying, we can see I'm flying today from Moorabbin down here, and you see the control zone from Moorabbin surface to 2000. Now, I've planned to go from Moorabbin via Melbourne and out to Horsham to the west. And I've planned to 6000. Now, as you can see, there is... I'm flying online, by the way. So you can see these guys. Melbourne approach is on 132, but Moorabbin Tower is not online. Therefore, in VATSIM, we assume that Moorabbin Tower is closed, and this is treated, the control zone, only up to 2,500, is treated as uncontrolled airspace, in other words, Class G, right? Now, the thing is, we're departing, and we're going to be getting in, because we've planned for 6,000, we're going to be going straight into Class Charlie. So we need, obviously, a clearance. So when I contact Melbourne Approach, I expect a clearance for him to climb, or, you know, sound like you cleared to Moorabbin by Melbourne, 4,000, because obviously they can't clear above to your flight because they have to coordinate. So you're probably going to be cleared, or I might be cleared direct to 6,000. I think that's the standard. So, yeah, so, and because I'll be passing, depending on how busy it is, I would expect probably Melbourne Approach to say, you know, contact me passing 2,500, something like that, because he has to identify me. So he would probably say, you know, November Foxtrot India, passing 2,500, contact me on 132.0, because he has to identify me, see, because I'm an IFR aircraft, okay? So that's what I expect. Now, what happens on VATSIM is different. Is it perfect now, is it? Yeah, I know. It's been a while, guys. You know, you're not going to believe this. I've got I've got a job as doing what I used to do before I retired many years ago. Um, I'm a my job was as an engineering, or sorry, an engineering drafty working in the iron ore business. So, yeah, they have enticed me back because apparently times are so good. And I said to these guys, I'll be honest with you, I said, look, you guys must be desperate, because really it didn't worry me if I had get the job or not. And they said, well, we are actually. So I'm back working full time. So you can understand why I'm not. Why I haven't been around for a while. And I'll probably do a few flights, few more flights, and hopefully try to shed some light on a few things. Obviously, it'll be more about GA stuff because that's what I like to do. Okay, so understand. So you understand all that. So because I'm an IFR aircraft, I have to be looked after. In other words, I have to have radio comms. And as I was saying, as I come over Melbourne, and I'm at 6 hours, and you see these blue rings here, there's going to be a time when I'm going to be under the control step of Class Charlie, and the approach controller should be aware of that. So you can see here, Class Charlie airspace terminates at 8,500. So at 4,500, I'm at 6 hours. As soon as I cross that, you can see 30 DME here, right? I'm below the Class Charlie. So I'm no longer under Melbourne Approach's control. However, because I'm an IFR aircraft, I still have to be looked after. So I should be passed off to Melbourne Centre. And as we know, in VATSIM, it's called Eldon Weir, I think it is, out that way. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it's called Eldon Weir, I think. Yeah, there it is there. But in real life, of course, it's not called Eldon Weir. It's called that, Melbourne Centre, 126.8. So that's what they... So I'd be passed off to Melbourne Centre. Now, Melbourne Centre, all they do is when I contact Melbourne Centre, I'd say, Melbourne Centre, November Foxtrot, India, 6,000. And now Melbourne Centre, all they have to do is say area Q&H, because obviously I have to make sure that my altimeter matches the Q&H. And once again, if I have a look here, if I zoom in there, that's what this dial is. Now, I've got this, and it's saying I'm at 102.8. There it is there. The Q&H is 102.8 at Moorabbin. Okay. Now, if I bring up and sure, 102.7. So I need to correct that. So Alt 2, I'll just make sure that okay, so now have a look at this. This is, I'm not sure what you guys think. It says here overcast at 4,000. Does that look overcast to you at 4,000? And there's another thing. I love Flight Simulator. I'm always looking for things like that. It's magic. I bet you're waiting for X-Plane 12 Aviation Chris. And there's another one over there. And I don't know if you guys have been to Moorabbin. That's certainly not Moorabbin Tower. So yeah, so that's what I plan to do today, hopefully, and we'll probably see how good this approach controller is or whatever. Now, what's my call? Well, all I'm going to be saying is Melbourne Approach, November Foxtrot, India, taxis for runway 17 right for Horsham, request clearance, and he'll then give me a clearance. And he'll give me a score code, and I'll just repeat, the clearance, make sure I put up the score code, and he'll say, contact and passing 2,500 contact me on 132.0, or he may not say that. He may just say, because if the tower was online, they would say that. So it's as soon as I depart, I just give the normal departure, not departure call. It's not a departure call, but you know, it's like you normally say when you take off. You know, Melbourne approach. Velocity 147, passing 2,500 on climb to 5. So, yeah, so it's the same sort of thing. Okay, right, so let me just, I'm trying to remember now, Horsham, what's Horsham YHSM? Okay, so this is the Piper Arrow, guys, and yes, I'm with this mob here, Walker Air. And yeah, so I don't know. Oh, that's another thing too. Probably that's another reason why I've gone back to full-time work. What do you reckon about this, guys? This mob is in. I'm thinking of getting this. There's only one small problem. This is a Cessna 208, right? And this mob are famous for doing all sorts of things. Now, I emailed the boss, Chief Executive Peter Koss, and I said, you know, I'm interested. Give us a sort of an idea of what I'm up for. And this is like the full Cessna 208, all the flight controls, everything. Because I've got a room at the back here, and I could sort of set this out. So you can see it's, and he writes back and he said, well, you're looking between 220,000 and 250. Oh, is it? Yeah, passing 129.4 out of Moorabbin. Probably, yeah. It's not. 129.4 is. No, it's not the same on VATSIM. You see, basically. Sorry, when you say passing 129.4 out of Moorabbin, not sure if it's the same on VATSIM. Is that who you're contacting? Yeah. So because out past, as soon as Melbourne, outside of Melbourne approach, Eldon Weir, so it's 123.75. So I think that's. Okay. Melbourne departure 129.4. Yeah, Melbourne departure 132 in VATSIM. Yeah, Melbourne. We use 132.0. Yep. Okay, all right, let's get started here and see. Yeah, well, this is basically what, but 200 and, oh, and they've got motion sensors here too. These are all full Cessna 208s. Now the thing is it worth getting this? I mean, you don't have to buy petrol. And there it is, you got motion sensors, but that's going to be like motion queuing, see that? But 250,000, or between 220 and 250,000. Well, not sure. It's, I guess, if you've got more money than brains, I suppose. But they got the Dash 8 as well. Anyhow, let's get going, eh? Let's just make sure that fuel tank is on. I'll just go through my checklist here. Control wheel. Master switch is on. Fuel quantity gauges. Yep, we got enough fuel. Ignition is off. Exterior. Okay. For starting engines, brakes are set. Propeller full increase RPM. Mixture full. alternate air is, there's the alternate air there, that is off. Okay. Alright, I'll prime the engine. I'll turn my lights on, beacon lights, nav lights. And clear prop, all that, you guys know the routine. And let's see if I can get this baby to go. Beautiful, purrs like a kitten, beautiful. Okay, let's first of all, while the engine warms up, let's just, what am I doing? Let's put in the flight plan. So this is why, by the way, this is free. This GTN 750 is free from a mob called PMS 50 GTN. So I got the free version. Okay, YMMB. And YH, I think it was. YHSM. And we're going to go via the Melbourne VOR. That's the VOR symbol. See there's, I don't think we're going to Japan. These are NDB, so normally you could. Okay, so let's have a look. Looks pretty well okay to me. Okay. Now, let's see if we get our let's have a look. What are we doing? Nav, we don't really need nav, but we want 132.0. 132.
That works at hold after this orbit, just not too close.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Air Canada 44, request cancel space. Air Canada 44, cancel speed restriction. Canada 44.
Okay, so 17, let's bring up our, just to bring up our. Oh, well, you can see there, we're, basically 17 is directly in front of us. Okay. So if we can just, so we're going to taxi over there. There's a wind still from 210. Yep, certainly doesn't look overcast to me. Okay, so we put on our taxi lights, just make sure. And I better check to see what my okay, so I think we're all set. Now, let's see if Melbourne approach, g'day, November Foxtrot, India at Moorabbin, request radio check.
November Foxtrot, India, he 5x5.
5x5 also, thanks. Okay, so at least he hears us.
It's 2:39. I'll be going offline very soon, but for your information, you can continue the descent down to 3,000 feet following the star profile, and then from Belter you'll want to contact Melbourne Tower on 120.5.
Yep, from Delta we'll contact Melbourne Tower, just for 239. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Canada 44 departing on airspace to the south, contact Unicom now, 122.8, g'day.
1228, Air Canada 44, thanks, yeah.
Okay, time to get
All
going.
stations Melbourne approach is going offline. Have a great day.
Oh, that was lovely. Oh well. That was fantastic. Oh well, doesn't matter. Oh well, timing wasn't the best. Make sure. Okay, now let's quickly do my run-ups here. I should be pointing into the wind, by the way. Actually, I should have gone maybe that way. Doesn't really matter. Now, run-ups are about 2,000 on this aircraft. I'll bring up the... Now, because this is a constant speed prop, as you guys know, the throttle is your RPMs and your... Sorry, your throttle is your manifold pressure. And this controls your RPMs. So, shift to left magneto, looking for a slight drop. No more than 100. Shift to right. Okay. Mags are okay. I should really, I know when I had the A2A Cessna, I should, you basically lean the mixture when you're taxiing, but for the purpose of the exercise. Unfortunately, Melbourne approach. But let's just say, we should have said taxiing for runway 17, right, for Horsham. And now the thing is, we got the thing with this, of course, is that this is a standby frequency. Now I'm not sure, you may shed light on this Aviator 997. IFR, is there a standard score code for departing, is it like 3,000 or something like that? Not sure. I just had to have a bit of chai tea. Okay, I think we're right. We'll put our runway lights on. Okay, no one is... Okay, and we're away. Now we're going to do basically a right turn, head over to Melbourne. Now we'll pull the power right back. Really, I suppose it's a crosswind departure, really. Geez, it's hard to trim this thing. Okay, we get... There's Port Phillip Bay. Now, this is where we contact approach, passing 2,000 on climb to 4,000. There's Melbourne, but we want to head straight over to Melbourne. We want to go straight to Melbourne Airport, so we desired track 315. So we look like we're it's a bit glary. $2,000, is it? Ah, thanks, Aviation Chris. I knew there was a standard now I'm hand flying this all the way. Well, not all the way to Horsham, because obviously now if I wanted to intercept, see that purple line, I'll just, if I have a look at, see how you've got the, where it says YMMB to Melbourne to YSHM. You've got a white diamond, which is my position, and then you've got right over under Horsham, you've got a purple line. And see how it's moving? That means my aircraft is to the left of that desired track. And you can see as I'm trying to intercept that purple line, you see the purple line now coming in towards me? So that's... And once that little white diamond once that little white diamond lines up, that means I'm on the desired track. So you can see I'm pretty well, I'm a bit to the right. So I'll just make a small correction. And you can see I'm about 18 miles from, I better put my lights on. Panel lights, cabin lights. So I'm tracking, if you see, look at the GPS, I'm tracking 330, my desired track is 315. So what I'll do, I'm just going to autopilot and I'll put it into nav mode, and that should get me on that. Not sure what it's doing, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't like that. I don't know what happened then, but that wasn't good. Let's just... That was not very good. Well, I'm not doing a very good job of trying to keep this desired track. Oh well, there we go. We're over Melbourne. Completely unintended, but we want to be over Melbourne VOR, not actually Melbourne. So, but almost, I'm on the track now. So let's just roughly. I'll try to hand fly as much as I can. I think I'd do a better job of hand flying than trying to put this in autopilot mode. I'll bring back the prop lever to about 2300 and 31 inches of manifold, and that's really what you're looking at. Should actually have done this when I was cruising, but anyhow. So you can see on my GPS there the white diamond lining up with the purple arrow, which is, I'm losing altitude here, you can see. So I'm fairly well on track really. So constantly trimming this aircraft. Really? It's got where? Why SCR? Oh well. Let's have a look. I'm sure I flight planned it. What am I doing? I'm trying to get this at 6,000. Now I'm in the soup here. I have no idea what's around me. Southern Cross. Geez, I haven't flown. I don't think I've ever. Oh, hang on, we're in the clouds. Windshield de-ice, pitot heat. Okay. Now the thing is, I don't know where I'm going here. This is interesting. There's Melbourne Airport. Yeah. Sight for sore eyes. And I'm descending. All sorts of problems here. I tell you what, it's so hard, hand flying. And I'm overcorrecting, and I'll be doing about 400 miles before I... Anyhow, I'm nearly there. Okay, I'm over Melbourne VOR, almost. Okay. Oh, you can see I'm definitely in IFR conditions. I just realised what I've done, the most basic of stupid. Okay, so if we have a look down here, you've got CDI GPS. So what it was doing is it was going, and I've done the most basic mistake, and I've put it on CDI, which is on VLOC, which is what you use for if you're running off the VORs. So I'm going to let the autopilot sort it all out. I'm at just over 6,000. Southern Cross. Let me have a look here. What an idiot. Well, you can tell I've been yeah, okay. Thanks for that, Chris. Well, you know, the old story, lack of preparation leads to piss poor performance. But I need some chai tea, I can tell you right now. Somewhere there is Melbourne Airport. So now see, let's just the Melbourne VOR. Okay, let's have a look at this Melbourne VOR. 114.0. So if I put that, this is what I like about this, 114.0. So if I put 114.01, now because I've got it on GPS mode, but if I was to have it on VLOC, and we could find out from this VOR indicator what outbound radial we're on. So that's also handy too. That's a handy little tool. This GTN 750 is amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah. Well, as would happen. Now, remember we talked about at 30 DME. Okay, so what's the DME for Melbourne? Oh, let's have a look at that. We'll go back to the charts. Where are we? Let's just have a look at charts, shall we? I'm on 4.1. So we're 4.7 nautical miles from, so that's always good to know, because at 30 you expect Melbourne to hand us over to, in the real world of course, yeah, so you expect them to hand you over at 30 odd nautical miles as per the charts, okay? And then of course if you're a VFR aircraft, well, you're going to be flying back into uncontrolled airspace, so their control services and identification terminated, frequency change approved. So you, whatever frequency you're on, I might actually, I'm not sure if this makes it. I don't know really. Not sure. Well, that's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? Jeez. I was expecting, well, I guess 6,000. I guess it's, I'm not sure what the, why is it YSHM? YHSM. YH. Let's have a look at what the weather's like at Horsham. Runway 17. Okay, let's see. Well, I was hoping for more, but it's not really. I was hoping for a bit of scenery at Horsham, or just general scenery, and maybe once I get past this cloud, I guess. Anyhow, like I was saying, I don't know what you guys think. Is it worth the 220 to 250,000 for this thing? And really, is it? I mean, you've got the full components here. So you actually, everything is all full Cessna Caravan. Now, I was thinking of starting a new channel, a flight channel. You know, so Cess Sim calls himself, well, he calls himself Cess Sim because he's Cessna, and he's got a model like, not like the Cessna 208, but he's got the 172, and he calls himself Cessna Sim, or Cess Sim. I'm thinking of calling myself Cess, or Cess 208 Sim, or something like that, and starting a brand new channel and doing a, there you go, see, have a look at that. I'd be sitting in there, I'd have cameras up there, go back again. Yeah, I'd have cameras in there, camera up there, lighting coming through this way. Yeah, but $220,000 to $250,000 for that. And I know, it's sort of, I don't know, what do you guys reckon? Would you buy it if you had the money? That's the question. Oh, here we go. Oh, magic. We've got a bit of scenery. Let's have a look, see if it's... I must admit, Microsoft Flight Simulator does a pretty good job on the scenery as far as I'm concerned. Looks pretty good. Now let's see exactly where we are. Okay, we're flying over, approaching the Wombat State Forest. Mount Sugarloaf on our left. Pity we can't see it. Sugarloaf Mountain, eh? It's down there somewhere, or back there somewhere. Yeah, we've got an electronic flight bag here, which is pretty good. Tells us, have a look at that headwind component, 25 knots. Wow. Whoa, we're getting, well, a bit of turbulence here. Okay. Get a real 208 and hire me instead. I don't know. What's a real 208 cost? About $1 million, I reckon. I reckon $1 million probably will do the trick. No, but really, Aviator, if you had the money to $220,000, you could actually buy a real aircraft, but wouldn't be that. You'd probably buy a Cessna 172, I guess. Yeah. Now, I know we're miles away from, we're 120 miles away from Horsham. Yeah. Yeah, a real 208. What's a real 208? What's a real 208? Eh? 2024. Wichita, Kansas. Make an offer. I'll give you $220,000. That's a brand new Cessna Caravan, 2024. But you really wouldn't buy a Cessna or Caravan. Here we go. Let's see what this is like. Look at that. Well, that looks pretty good. Wow. Make an offer. They say make an offer. Lord, look at that. Yeah, I guess you can only dream, eh? What about used ones? What are we talking about? 2019, Minnesota, 1 owner, 0 accident history. That's always nice to know. 2017. No. Oh, look at that. 2016. That's 3 million. Hey, this. I'll tell you what. 220,000, and I've almost got. Okay, it doesn't fly, but hey. Oh, look at this. Where are we now? In some state forest. Where are we now? Okay, we're coming up to the Wombat State Forest. Okay. Now you can see here DME 26, so we'd be getting ready to call from Melbourne Approach saying contact Melbourne Centre, blah blah blah, and then we'd contact Melbourne Centre, and I'd say, we'd say Melbourne Centre, November Foxtrot in India 6000, maintaining 6000 or whatever. They say November Foxtrot India, QNH, area QNH 1023 or whatever. So yeah, Jabiru, that's Australian made. Yeah, there's a bit of it's not that I've got anything against Australian made, but there's a bit of there was a bit of talk about the Jabiru and how reliable they are. I don't know. You probably know more than this, me, Aviator. But anyhow, we're in the Wombat State Forest. I wonder if we can find. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Now, we're probably going to land on 17, I think. Yeah, we'll probably come. What we'll do is fly overhead and we can enter downwind in that way. We can enter downwind. We go left downwind 17. I think that's the way to go. Now, Horsham. What's the elevation of Horsham? Because I need that to work out for descent calculations, or I'm sure it had here somewhere. Where was it? Okay, let's have a look at Horsham. Okay, 440 feet. So we're going to go down to about 1500. So we're at 6,000. Down to 1500, so we have to lose. This is a quick rough and ready. We can So what have we got to lose? 4,500 feet to get to circuit height. So 4,500. We'll descend at say 500 feet per minute. So every 2 minutes we lose 1,000. So about 9 minutes. Let me get this right. So if we're descending at 500 feet a minute, so 1,000 feet, so we do, so from 6,000 down to 1,500 take 4.5 minutes. Okay. And if we're doing 4.5 minutes, we're doing 90 knots. On our descent, that's 1.5. I've almost forgot how to do this now. We're looking top descent about 20 nautical miles, I guess. Let's, where's my calculator? As you get older, the problem is, so 6,000 feet down to 1,500, you're looking at 4,500. 500 feet per minute. You're gonna, oh shit, 9 minutes. So if you're doing 90 knots, which is about, you could divide 90 by 60, gives you 1.5 nautical miles. You're doing 90 nautical miles, 90 knots I should say, 1.5 nautical miles a minute, and it takes you 1,000. Trying to work this. Can you hear me, guys? Or did I just go offline? Okay. About 15 nautical miles from Horsham. So if I descend down to 1,500 about circuit height, you get there at about 15 nautical miles. So I'm at about 101 at the moment. So it's plenty of time. So you see, we got this. So I had track 283 and track 284, so pretty good. Well, pretty good at the moment. It's a bit of a pity we got all this crappy day. Mind you though, over here in Perth it's not that great either really. That's why I'm flying. Oh, by the way, does anyone out there, I think that's the sun. It doesn't look too good. Rex Weather Force for Microsoft Flight Simulator, because I'll tell you what, from what I see, it's not that great. So, okay, so these are high points, by the way. Williams Hill, Kangaroo Hill, 644. That's all 2,000 feet. Pity we can't see it. I don't know if you guys can hear the wind in the background. That's all right. Yeah. 5x5, Aviation Chris. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That looks all right. Bit of eye candy. Now, unfortunately, Horsham doesn't have any approaches to runway 17. So, the thing is, if you have a look at the charts, I'll try to get the charts up, but so it favours runway 17 at the moment, and the only approaches, instrument approaches, are 08 to 26. Now that's something you need to look at when you're flight planning something. Let's say, for example, so you see the Adelaide aerodrome elevation 445 feet. So your circuit altitude's 1,500 feet. Now if you've got cloud below 1,500 feet, let's just say for example you had 1,300 feet, that means there's no way in hell you're ever going to land at Horsham, because you're going to be in IFR and you're not going to be able to see the runway will become visual. Now what we've got here is the cloud is 4,200 feet, so we're going to become visual as we descend past 4,200. We should now then become totally visual. So that's a consideration when you're planning, of course, is am I ever going to become visual for that runway? I must say these guys are pretty good. Have a look at that. Have a look at that rendering. Look at that worn out look there. And look at that, all the dirt and muck. I must say it's pretty good. And look, they've got here's these little black spots here. They've even put those little dirt marks on the aircraft. See these little black spots? That's not crap on my monitor, by the way. That's just, I must say, they do a very good job. They Just Flight are very good. Yeah, Chris, Aviation Chris. Yes, I'm going to buy these. Guess what I'm going to be buying? I'm going to be buying that, and now I don't know how it's going to match up with the X-Plane one, because the X-Plane P737 is pretty good by all accounts, and it's free, whereas this is so, and like I said, too early to buy this. Yeah, that's the point, I guess. I guess so. Just trying to. You reckon there's a few bugs in it, do you? Yeah, you might be right, actually. But if I keep waiting and waiting, I don't know. It's not fully realistic like the Zebo. Yeah, I know. Yep. Well, maybe I should go with my first instincts and get that. That's what I'm thinking of get. 220 to 250 grand. And you get the flight experience as well. These are all fully functional. And you get motion sensing too. So you can feel all the bumps and the turbulence and all that. So I guess this would give you the right dynamics. So imagine having one of these in your garage or wherever. So then they've got the Dash 8 as well. I'm not too sure about the Dash 8. Yeah. I mean, if you had one of these in your room or whatever, would you ever go to bed? You'd probably sleep in it. Imagine doing that. Imagine you'd be spending all your time. I hate to think, if the 208's 220, 250, what's this thing worth then? And not only that, how do you bloody configure it all? How do you get all these switches to sort of work? Because they just give you this basic package. It doesn't come with technicians coming over from Canada and wiring it all up for you. They just say, here you go, now you work it out. And I guess that's probably the one thing that sort of stopped me from getting this. So, not sure. Anyhow, it's just a dream at the moment, and probably this will be on hold as well. But it doesn't really matter for me. I'm not a purist, Chris, aviation Chris, you know. It's simulation, and like I always said, it can be real or as unrealistic as possible. Now, I'm not a pilot, so would I know the difference between, oh, excuse me, sorry about that, would I know the difference between real and unreal? I probably wouldn't. But I don't have anyone online at the moment. No, there's no one online. Yeah, I believe the Zebo is actually, I've heard it's pretty good. And I've seen it too. It's. And any thoughts, Aviation Chris, on X-Plane 12? I think it should be coming out. Not sure. In the second half of 2022, eh? And guess what they've got? Oh, that's a Cessna Caravan there. Yeah, I might actually get X-Plane as well. So if I'm just doing GA flying, but oh, they've got the Citation X. So these are the best graphic settings for X-Plane 11. You know, really what I don't like is you have a look at some of the scenery and it really looks like it's a bit of a I mean, have a look at that. Does that really look sort of semi-realistic to you? It doesn't look that. It lacks depth, you know what I mean? It just doesn't look that. It doesn't look right. I don't know how to say it, but it just doesn't look right. But anyhow, each to his own. It depends what you want. And yeah, I'm not sure. Different things for different people. I mean, this is payware aircraft. Oh no, included version. This is not payware. Sorry, this is. It's just. I mean, look at that grass. Does that look? I mean, that doesn't look anywhere like. I don't know. Hey, Seth Sim. You know what I'm thinking of buying, mate? Look at that. 220,000 or 250. I'll go your halves. And you can come over to my place and fly the Cessna Caravan, and I'll come over to your place and fly the 172. And I'll pay you half of what the 172 cost you. So how's that? So it's only 20 odd grand, mate. But that's a base model. So now you're talking. Yep. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. See? And you got motion sensing in this too, mate. Sounds like a plan? And we get all our subscribers, we give them a 15% discount to fly in it. So any of you guys, or maybe make it 20%, make it sort of, give them an incentive, you know. Yeah, anyhow, that was explained. So, not sure. Anyhow, we're still in the soup here. Look at this. And we're 71 nautical miles. So what did I calculate? I said about 15 nautical miles. We're gonna drop down and see if we can land at Horsham and runway 17. Let's see. 20 minutes ago, this was 160. Yep, still looks like 17 is the plan. So we'll sort of drop down to about 1500. One Powerball. Mate, you know what I would do? One Powerball, this is what I'd do. I'd have this in one room. I'd have this in another room. I'd have this in another room. And then just for fun, I'd have just for the Airbus. So you know, you got to have the Airbus in there too. I'd have this in the other room, and that looks pretty special. Look at that. That looks pretty special. And well, the missus, she can sleep in the back shed. How's that? And I think she heard me. Hey Carly, how you going? And then this would have you in the shed. Yeah. Sorry, what's that? Nothing, do you? No, I wasn't talking about you. No. What? No, I was just, I think I'm in the shed. Oh well. So that's about, that would chew up about 700 grand, I reckon. Probably around about 700 grand, which is, you know, one Powerball. Okay, so everyone's departed. No one is online. And where am I? I don't even know where I am. Let's have a look. I'm around here somewhere. Where am I? Okay, I'm coming up to the Landsborough Nature Conservation Reserve. Okay. I guess so. Yep, that looks like a nature reserve to me. Geez, that looks all right, doesn't it? Yeah, she'd have me in the shed and all the Powerball money. That looks... But, yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't know if you, you're doing the Sunday VFR flight, Cess? I've been watching your short landings, mate. You're getting better, that's all I can say. Or maybe I haven't seen your last one. Well, I'll tell you, it's oh, the chai tea is wonderful, mate. Yeah, I've just finished a cuppa actually. Not tonight, working on the sim settings, eh? His profile got stuffed somehow. Yeah, well, lost all the dialed in settings. Ah, youch. Hello, we got a bit of scenery out to the right. What's that look like? So, some hills. So, what do we got? Got Red Bank Nature Reserve. Okay. I reckon the missus is stuffing you around, mate. You're spending more time in the sim than you are with the missus, I reckon. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that looks all right. Certainly looks like a nature reserve there, mate. Look at that. Must admit, Australia's fantastic. Australia's got fantastic scenery. Actually, if I bought this Cessna 208, Cess, you'd have to come over and wire it all up for me. For a modest fee, of course. I don't know. What do you charge per hour, mate? Not sure. Okay. What ground speed? We're doing 140, almost 140 knots ground. That's okay. Well, you know, go for a bit of music. Sorry, I don't own a trumpet, guys. So, you know. If I had a trumpet, like some other YouTubers, all free. Wow. Really? Now, what am I listening to here? Sam Fender. Eh? That doesn't like 17. I love this song. I'm confused. 17 going under. Sam Fender. Maybe I'm getting confused. Okay, I finally worked this out. I had a bit of trouble before, like I said before, this used to be all, let's just see if we can find Notepad, or, yeah, we go Notepad, okay. No, that won't work as well. What about Paint? I want to show you how a quick and easy way of working out how work out your descent profile. Okay, let's say I'm at, let me get the brushes first. I'm flying at 6,000 feet. Okay, and we know we want to get, Horsham is 400 and something. 445 feet, say 500. So we want to get down to circuit altitude 1,500, which is 1,000 feet above the aerodrome. So you add 1,000 onto that. So let's say for round up 1,500. So we want to go from 6,000 to 1,500. So that is a difference of 4,500. This will be probably the most interesting part of the whole flight. Okay, now we know, we want to descend, and it depends on your descent rate, but I'm going to descend at 500 feet per minute. Okay, so 500 feet per minute. So if you're you need to lose 4,500, you're going at 500 feet per minute, you divide 4,500 by 500, and that will give you 9 minutes. Okay, because every minute you're losing 500, so to lose 4,500 feet is going to take you 9 minutes. Okay, because you divide that by that. If that was feet, and feet divided by that, the units cross off and you get 9 minutes, okay? So 4,500 divided by 5. Okay, now, you're doing, let's say on your descent, you're doing a ground speed of 90 knots, okay? And 90 knots basically means, if you divide 90, basically knots, but not 90 knots means 90 nautical miles per hour, okay? But we want to find out how far you've gone in a minute, 90 knots. So 90 knots is 90, so you divide that by 60, which is 60 minutes in an hour, and that equals 1.5 nautical miles per minute. Okay, so now we know that it's going to take 9 minutes to go from 4,500 down to 1,500. So we multiply 9 minutes by 1.5 equals, and if my maths is correct, 13.5 nautical miles. But we can round it off, and we always say give a factor, and I'll say about 15 nautical miles, because if you that's 1.5 nautical miles per minute, and the minutes cross out, the units cross out, and you're left with nautical miles, and that's 13.5. That's how you work out a rough and ready way of working out your top of descent. Okay, so 15 nautical miles, I'll start descending, trying to keep a descent rate of 500 feet per minute and a ground speed of about 90. Now, of course, when those other things change, well, you've got to, you know, if you're descending at 100 feet per minute, instead of 500, you're descending at 700 feet a minute. Well, obviously you've got to work it out things differently. So let's say, for example, 4,500 feet you've got to lose, and you're descending at 800 feet per minute. Well, cancel that. So that is 845 divided by 8 equals 5. 8 5s are 40. 5. 8's into 50. So you're going to take, say, 5.6, say 6 minutes instead of 9 minutes to get down. So then all this changes. So that's the sort of the calculation, the methodology you have to use. Yeah. I think it's 14.5. Oh, you might be right. My maths is shit. Uh, 9 by that. 9 5 is 45, carry 4. Half of 9 is 4.5, yeah, but how does that work out? I'm not sure. Carly, how? I'm not sure if I understand you correctly. That's the way I normally do it. 90 knots is equal to, that's basically equal to 90 nautical miles per hour. But you want to know in minutes, because you've worked out it takes 9 minutes to get from 6,000 down to 1,500. So you want to know 90 nautical miles, 90 knots has to be in minutes. So you're doing 90 knots is 1.5 nautical miles per minute. And so your 9 minutes times 1.5 gives you the 13.5. That's the rough and ready. But like I said, I normally round it up to about 15. That's the way I do it. I think maybe what you're thinking of, Carly, is you know how you see the... Try to clear all this. Or maybe I'll just do it new. This is what I think you're thinking of. I'm not sure, but you know when you see an ILS and you see 3 degrees, right? And you want to know let's clear it once and for all. 9 times 1.5 equals 13.5. Okay, so what you're thinking of, let's say for example, you want to know, you see the ILS and it's a 3 degree glide path or glide slope, and you want to know how many feet per second you want to, per minute, sorry, you want to lose. So what you do, this is the easy way, you're doing a ground speed of 90 knots. The way to work how, and think, well, what's my vertical speed indicator, or how many feet per minute do I have to descend if I'm doing 90 knots to get to that 3 degree glide path? And the quick and easy way is you divide 90 by divide by 2, 45, and you add a 0. So that means if you're doing 90 knots ground speed, to get that 3 degrees glide path, you've got to descend at 450 feet per minute. So let's say I'm descending at 120 knots, the ground speed. 60, add a 0, and at 600 feet per minute descending, you'll keep that, you're on that 3 degrees. I think that's maybe what you're thinking of. I'm not sure, but that's... It's just simple arithmetic. Anyhow, I'm still in the shit here, and it's I'm 23 nautical miles from Horsham, and QNH is 1027. So let's have a look at if the QNH is set properly. 1027. 102567. It's a little bit off. Okay, now I'm it looks pretty bleak, I tell you. Maybe this is the overcast. I think this is the overcast of 4,200, but extending to whatever. Back soon, mate. Need to jump into the sim to check my yoke settings. All right, mate. Good afternoon, Gav. How you going? Back soon. Okay. Actually, I'll be right back myself. I've got to go, and this chai tea's worked its way through. I won't be long, guys. About 2 minutes, if that. Okay, I'm back, guys. Okay, now I've got to remember when I'm descending, I've got to put my fuel pump on full. That's part of the descent or on the checklist. I keep forgetting, so remind me, guys, on descent, always put my fuel pump on. Okay. Now the approach speed for this thing is 75 knots. Oh, that looks all right. Halt, 15 knot. Oh no. I've gone past that 15 miles. I'll have to descend a little bit faster. Now I've taken it off altitude hold. I need to go probably about 700 feet a minute now. Now this thing basically says the gear down 129 and below, so anything below 129 I can I'm just keeping an eye on the vertical speed indicator there. So I may, because I missed me 15, I'll probably go down to about around about 600 or 700 feet per minute. Take a little bit of power off as well. It's very sensitive, this trim. I've got the honeycomb yoke and throttle. Oh, geez, that's a bit. Now I'm going 1,000 feet a minute. It's very sensitive, I can tell you right now. I'm still having trouble operating it. Now I've decided to come in on left downwind runway 17. Oh, geez. 1,000 feet a minute. Oh. Trying to stabilise it. Just got to bring back the speed a bit more. I'm only 8 miles away. Geez, I've got a funny feel I'm not going to be. Now I should become visual below 4,200. And I think I'll keep 1,000. Yeah, I've got a funny feeling of this. I've started my descent a little bit late. Now, if the METAR is correct, we'll see. We'll see if the METAR is correct. 4,000. See, I should have become visual by now. Let's have a look. What does the METAR say? Oh, 4,400. Okay, but I'm just 3,800. I'm still not visual. So I'm not sure. See, this is where Microsoft, if I'm not visual, I'm going to be cactus. Is that the airfield? No, I don't think so. There you go. 3.5. I need to get down to 1500. I've only got 3.8 nautical miles to go. That was a rapid descent, I can tell you. Now let's see if I can stuff this up. Now we said the circuit altitude 1,500. So yeah, I've left it too late. Oh, this is going to be a bodgy. I might have to overfly the field and do a right downwind, I think. Yep, I'll do a right downwind. There it is there. Oh, it might be okay, actually. A little bit high, I'll just I think I missed it. Yep, overshot. That's not good. That's really not good at all. We want to be approaching 75 knots. Take off the power a bit. Coming in a bit fast, not good. Off the power a bit. to the end of the runway. Not one of my best, but that will have to do. Okay, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is my little flight to Warrnambool. And here we are at Warrnambool. I think I have to backtrack. Better tell the tower that. Or, no, there's no tower at Warrnambool, is there? So, I don't think there's a tower at Warrnambool. No, of course not. It's a CTAF. And of course, if I was on CTAF, I'd say, you know, Warrnambool traffic. November Foxtrot, India backtracking runway 17. That's what I'd be saying. Now, turn off in landing lights. Out the flaps. And that, ladies and gentlemen, the truth. I'll have a look at my landing rate here because of the... But that doesn't look like Warrnambool. I've never been to Warrnambool, but the scenery, that's not flash. I think I've got a marshal over... Nah, that's not a marshal. I think I'll just park next to this, I don't know what aircraft that is. Anyhow, that's my, how long did I go for? Not sure what aircraft, anybody tell me? Yeah, so hope you enjoyed it. I might do a series, I'll just turn off me. Oh, guess what I forgot to do? Do it all the time. I didn't put my fuel pump on. That's a bugger. Alright, so I think that'll be it for me at the moment.